Alright, so I'm gonna try to use the vampire bats in place of my Bun-Banneret and see how much extra bleed damage I can do with this setup. I'm doing the boss gauntlet from the Chessmaster War, so you saw me do this one in previous videos where I just Dodgelashed it like I normally would, and I think I also backlashed it on one of my runs. It's not too bad. See how much bleed. So far, I'm not getting any bleed from the bats, so see how this goes. And we still don't have a bleed. And so basically what I'm trying to do is to see how much harm damage I can stack using the bleed from the vampire bats on top of the Dodgelash damage I get from Titan's Fall. The big downside to this is, since I'm already playing Dodgelash without any dexterity in my current build, without Bun-Banneret, I'm just gonna lose that extra boost to my MRM, so, and now we get a bleed. So far, let's look at the level of the bleed. It's barely anything, so I wonder how high this bleed is able to stack. Now it's at 0.5, but that's still very low. So there's our first boss taken down, and we'll see about this one. So basically I'm trying to see if playing with a guest that can get bleed on the enemy is a good alternative to just using Bun-Banneret all the time. The main thing here is I do lose out on the extra blocking from Bun-Banneret, which, as you can see, is making me take some hits that I probably wouldn't if I had Bun-Banneret out. So so far I'm also not too impressed by the accuracy of the bats. Yeah, as you can see, I'm not getting hit for a lot of damage, but if I had a proper Dodgelash guess, whether it's Bun-Banneret or Paladin Apprentice, I don't think I would have taken those hits, even though I have no dexterity. So the bleed so far, I'm not too impressed. It just seems to be pretty weak, and when it comes to something like bleed, you really need it to be in the you really need it to be like level 2, level 3, or higher than that in its power to really deal a noticeable amount of DOT damage to the enemy. So far I'm not seeing that. Maybe this is not that strong of a bleed guest. So if you guys know what's a stronger bleed guest, just let me know in the comments. So other than that, I'm just doing what I always do when when I Dodgelash, so. So far so good. This boss gauntlet isn't actually that difficult. I would definitely say it's less difficult on a whole than something like the moderator challenge, or yeah, just even the shadow scythe virophages from one of the warlick quests. So if I were to like actually Dodgelash with a Dodgelash guest and all that, this would be really super easy, as you saw in one of my previous videos. We can't actually use this guest on him because this undead guy, he hits with darkness, so the bats are only gonna heal him. So yep, so as you can see, when I'm using a proper Dodgelash guest like this Bun-Banneret, they're not landing any hits on me, even though I have 0 dexterity. So yeah, this water burn is kind of annoying. Yeah, so I'd say so far I don't think I'm too impressed with the bleed damage from the bats. What I might try next time is actually using frag rat grenades to see how much the bleed can stack, but this time, yeah, I didn't use them, so yeah. Ouch, took a hit. Yeah, so the thing that sucks overall is the fact that your character's blocking is still so dependent on having dex. I thought they were gonna fix that. They were looking into it, but so far I don't see what's come out of it, so it really sucks. I wish blocking and all that was based off of main stat a lot more than dexterity, because they were able to make your BTH, your character's accuracy, so that it scales off mostly off of your main stat, whether that be strength, dexterity, or intellect, rather than what it was in the past, which everyone had to run dex to be able to hit stuff. That's not the case anymore, so I really wish they'd look into it for blocking as well. So far, I'm not too impressed with the bats and how they're doing. And the thing is, it seems that it's also not guaranteed that they're gonna inflict bleed on the enemy. It's basically RNG as to what you get. It's either bleed or blind or EleVuln, but what I'm really looking for is the bleed, and so far I can't say I'm too impressed by this guest, to be honest. And sometimes it just doesn't do anything to the enemy. So despite the fact that I have full charisma, it just doesn't seem to do much, which is kind of disappointing because I was really looking forward to the possibility of stacking more harm damage from the bleed on top of the Dodgelash, but yeah. So I don't know, maybe I'm just using the wrong guest, and maybe there's a better bleed guest out there. So if you guys know which one that is, just feel free to let me know. So, and oh, he actually has negative luck, so I'm just gonna recover a bit of SP and MP, and this is the last one. Yeah, so I thought this would just be something to try out, and I'm not too impressed, to say the least. And on a side note, this isn't really related to the video, but if you watched one of my previous videos that I made a couple weeks ago, the best Dodgelash misc in the game is still Summoning Stone. I tested Louis statue and to see if it would do better than Summoning Stone, and I just don't really think it's worth using because it's got much higher SP cost, and the Dodgelash damage that you get is pretty much the same. Probably Summoning Stone's probably even a bit stronger than Louis statue. So I would, if you want to play a Dodgelash build, I would really just get Summoning Stone from either the rare or the ultra rares. So yep. So yeah, so he's got a defense boost, but doesn't do much. Gives a bit of extra MRM, but nothing to worry about. So it's bleeding. Yeah, so the bleed's not doing much, not as far as I see. So all right, and that's it. So I was considering using, this was just an experiment basically, and so far I think I can pretty much conclude that maybe there's a better bleed guest out there that synergizes better with my Dodgelash, but it's definitely not these vampire bats from the subrace, because as you can see, I can't even get a level 1 bleed on the opponent, and all around they just kind of suck, and it's up to RNG whether they even inflict that bleed to begin with. So I'm not too impressed, and yeah, I'll see if there's anything better for bleed. Yeah, Yeah, this is just a regular version of the Prime Conduit of the challenge version that I just fought. So, yep, he's dead. So, yeah, overall, I think I'm pretty disappointed. And unless there's a better bleed guest out there, I would probably still just use Bun-Banneret for the extra MRM, especially considering the fact that, as you can see, I'm not running any dexterity right now, so yeah, alright, that's all for this video, and I'll see you next time.